Defenders of Gondor. Defenders of Gondor, the starter deck. This is the last starter deck of the 4 that they released that I have opened on the channel. And we are going to get a little bit of, or we're going to get to see them in action. I played, it was Dwarfs and Rohan, I believe. I played the Dwarfs and Rohan just through Passage of Mirkwood, just for fun, honestly. But what I'm going to be doing is in the recorded gameplays that I'm doing, where I'm going back through, I'm playing two-handed. I'm going to play the Oath and then the other one that I don't remember what it is. the other quest in that like adventure pack, the Passage through Mirkwood, or not the Passage, Shadows over Mirkwood. I'm gonna do I'm gonna do 2 games. I'm gonna do the two-handed through those, and then we're gonna move on to Akmar, I believe. So, pretty excited. Gondor is your favorite archetype. Let's go. Nice. Gondor is one of, this wrapping feels super weird. I don't know what it is, but it feels super old. Anyways, Gondor is an archetype that I have not played a lot of, and so I'm really excited to see where the deck goes and see where it goes. We're gonna start out here with Boromir. Good old Boromir. 11 cost, 1/3/2/5. Then, while Boromir has at least 1 resource in his resource pool, Gondor allies get +1 attack. The Arid Mithrin boxes are coming out pretty soon. Oh, sweet. Nice. That's exciting. That's awesome. Nice. We got Boromir. That's really cool. Yeah, Boromir, I've had Boromir. He's not new to me, but I do like all Gondor allies get +1 attack. Then Prince Imithril is a 11 cost. Expensive. This is an expensive deck. 2/3/2/4. After a character leaves play, we get to ready him. So usually we're doing that with like a chump block, so we can throw a blocker in front of the prince, or in front of an attack. And then we get to ready the prince. The prince then gets to quest and attack. Victory Point Gaming, thank you for raiding. Hi, how's everyone doing? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. What'd you all just finish playing? We are unboxing some new cards. Always good stuff. So right there, that's 22 starting cost, and then we've got 10 more here. So 20 or 32 as a starting cost. But we got Malblong as a tactics hero. 2/2/2/4. After you engage an enemy, add 1 resource to his resource pool. So we got a little bit of the Dunedain archetype showing. Hey, how's it going? What'd you all just finish playing? We played Arc Nova and Doncaster RPG. I don't know Doncaster. Arc Nova is so great. Arc Nova is so good. And I think you play a lot on BGA, which I've heard is a really good implementation. Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm happy you're here. We just finished up a quest of Lord of the Rings, and now we're opening some new cards, because new cards are always the best. This is a new card for me, actually. Angbor the Fearless. 2 cost, 2/1/0/2 Gondor. So if Boromir has a resource, this is a 2 attack. While your threat is 40 or higher, he gets +2 attack and does not exhaust a quest. Let's freaking go. Alrighty. So we're getting some Valor stuff as well. So if your quest is 40 or higher, you can trigger some of these Valor actions, but also you can get some benefits over here. So at that point, he is a 2 quester, probably 4 attack with Boromir. Now I see why we're starting so high. Doncaster is a mobile game. Oh, cool. Nice. Nice. That's very fun. I don't know how you let unopened packs sit there at your house. I do not have that control. Yeah. I just put him out of sight. I just like hide him in a box. Then my object permanence has not yet set in, so I forget about him. We got a Soldier of Gondor. This is also a new card for me. So this is a 2/1/1/2. After Soldier of Gondor enters play, search the top 5 cards of your deck for a Gondor ally and add it to your hand. Any number of Gondor allies instead if your threat is 40 or higher. Shuffle your deck. Very cool. Very, very cool. So really inexpensive, especially with Boromir. We're running a dual leadership deck here, and so we've got this, and we can get a 2-cost ally, which we can drop on turn 1, for a 1/2/1 if we have a resource, and a card draw. That's good. That's decent. The theme of Gondor is high threat since they share a border with Mordor. They're always under the. That is so thematically and mechanically, like the marriage there is incredible. I love that. That's so awesome. Hey, we got the Citadel Custodian. Know this guy. 5 cost, 1013. We get to lower the cost to play him by 1 for each Gondor ally in play. I do like the way that these are worded, is that you don't have to have control of the Gondor allies. You just have to, it's just in play. And so if you're playing alongside someone else who's also running some Gondor, may not even be the full archetype, but if you're running someone who has like a Defender of Rammus on the table, this counts as a discount there. Speaking of Defender of Rammus, it's a 2-cost 0/1/4/1 vanilla card. But that 4 defense comes in handy, especially with a lot of the earlier quests where the attacks are not as high. That 1 damage is a little tough, but a lot of the times you can make sure that he doesn't leave play. We got the ship captain. Hey, we just opened this one, I think, actually. 2 cost, 1/1/02. After he enters play, move 1 resource from the resource pool of a hero you control to another hero's resource pool. Again, does not have to be one of your heroes. That's really cool. I like the synergy that we're seeing between, or like when I'm reading these, I'm thinking of them as like a multi-handed play or a multiplayer like lens. And there's just so many options, and this game just is so good multiplayer. It's incredible single player as well, but it's so good multiplayer. We got the Aaron Rider 1/0/0/02. We can exhaust Aaron Rider to move a resource from that resource pool of a hero you control to another hero's resource pool. What's nice here is you can, if you have Boromir, this Aaron Rider is a 1 attack, and so you can still trigger that ability. We got Faramir. We know and love Faramir. Exhaust Faramir to give everybody +1 willpower. We got 2 copies of Gandalf. We know and love Gandalf. We got 2 copies of the Gondorian Spearman. Corset card, 2 cost. Whenever he defends, deal a damage. Love that. Oh, we got the Envoy of Peligreer. I really like this card. 2 cost, 1/1/02. After she enters play, add a resource to a Gondor and Noble hero resource pool. So she effectively is costing 1. So you can drop this in there. She is a Gondor character, so it's a 1 cost 2 attack with Boromir. And what's nice is that if you play her, you can add a resource to Boromir to immediately turn that, to enable that buff. So really, really good synergy there. But I play her a lot, actually. She's really, really good. Squire of the Citadel. 1 cost, a lot of really inexpensive allies, which works really well for the Citadel 5 cost ally over here. After Squire of the Citadel leaves play, add 1 resource to a Gondor hero's resource pool. Poor Squire. Oh my gosh. 1 cost drop. He 1 defense. He literally is in this game to take a massive hit because you get your rebate of a money back. That's hilarious and awful. I think I have him. I just never put 2 and 2 together. That's really funny. Captain of Gondor. Attach it to a warrior ally. After you optionally engage an enemy, exhaust Captain of Gondor to give the attached hero +1/+1 until the end of the phase. What's really nice here is we want to be engaging stuff with Moblin. So if we attach it to... Oh, yeah, it has to be Boromir, actually. He's our only warrior hero in the deck, which is kind of interesting. But when we optionally engage, and optional engagements do happen before required engagements, and so if you are going to engage an enemy regardless, you might as well optionally engage them, and then you get the buff here, and then you get a resource on Moblin. Got the shield. Attached hero gets +1 or +2 if the attached hero is the Gondor, which it is. I'm actually kind of surprised that we didn't see Baragond. Baragond, I feel like, is really good, and I don't think he's in the repackaged stuff. I may be wrong on that. Everything kind of gets hazy when I start to think about where cards came from. We got Heir of Madriel. Attached to a noble hero. After the hero gains any number of resources from a card effect, exhaust this to ready the attached hero. Alrighty, now we're freaking talking. It is a noble hero, though. Okay, so we can go to either one of these. Honestly, straight up, I feel like this onto Prince with a Horn of Gondor from the core set. There's not one in here, but a Horn of Gondor from the core set, because now you're chump blocking, which you want to do a lot with Prince, because then he gets to ready. No, because you're already readying the attached hero. So I guess it's Boromir. I guess you can go Malblong. No, but he's not a noble. Is Baragond in the back of the extra cards in the back of the set? I think there's usually... There may be. He may be. Well, I'm not 100% sure. I think I go Heir on Boromir? I guess regardless, you can go Steward of Gondor. And this is actually kind of interesting, because you can throw Steward of Gondor on either one of them. Potentially, it doesn't matter. Either one of these two, and you don't have to trigger Steward of Gondor at the beginning, right? So you can quest, trigger Steward of Gondor, then ready. That's cool. That's actually really cool. I like that a lot. That's probably the best way to do it. Huh. You got a lot of readying in this. That's fun. Valiant Sword. Attached to a noble hero. Limit 1 per hero. Restricted. We get +1 attack or +2 if your threat is 40 or higher. Honestly, a 1-for-1 is good. Like a 1-for-1 is decent, especially in leadership. But if you go 40 or higher, you get +2. That's great. Combo is great with Theodred to ready a questing hero. Yeah, because Theodred, you're committing, and then you get to add a resource to a character or a hero's resource pool, which then can ready. That's neat. That's really cool. I like that. That's a fun combo right there. Visionary Leadership, Gondor hero. While it has at least one resource in its resource pool, Gondor characters get +1 willpower. Let's go. I like how it gives us 3 of those. It's like, you want these. So now if we have a resource in Boromir's pool, and I'm probably throwing Visionary Leadership on Boromir, then everyone gets +1 attack, +1 willpower. That's neat. That's really neat. We've got Behind Strong Walls, which... Yep. Yeah, I'm probably going to go Gondor. So Jared, who should I pair Gondor with first? Rohan, dwarfs, or elves? Knowing that the other two are going to be paired together. Behind Strong Walls. Ready a defending Gondor character. That character gets +1 defense until the end of the phase. Nice. I usually mulligan hard for Visionary Leadership. Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. Also, just going to go to here, to the halt, so we can take a look at the deck. Rohan is a good match to ready Prince Summerhill with... Oh, yeah! Okay, we'll go Rohan, and then we'll go Dwarfs and Elves together. Yeah, that's going to be fun. 2 copies of Feint, cancel attacks. Love canceling attacks. Need drives them. Each player with a threat of 40 or higher readies all characters they control. Let's freaking go. Nice. That's fun. Pillars of the King. Oh my gosh, I love the art on this. Ah, it's so nice. While your threat is less than 40, reduce the cost to play this by 4. Interesting. Set your threat to 40. If this effect raises your threat, draw a card. Draw 4 cards if you raise your threat by 10 or more. That's super interesting. That's really, really interesting. What I mean, like the key, an epic time to play this is when it's like your threat is at 39, right? You play this card and you raise your threat by 1, which turns on all your valor stuff, but also you get to draw a card. Maybe not. I don't know. I think I've talked myself out of the card because it is a card in your deck, so it takes up a card slot, but it replaces itself. I guess like you want to do it when you're 29. You get to draw 4 cards, but still, that's a huge jump. And it's like you have to figure out how to whittle your threat down to under 30 because you're starting at 32. Maybe that's a Gandalf drop, but then you're dropping Gandalf turn 1. Like, I don't know. That's weird. Pillars is awesome. Trigger all your Valor stuff early game and it's threat reduction in the late game. Oh, yeah. Okay. While your threat is less than 40, reduce the cost of play. It sets your threat to 40. Okay. I did not pick up on the fact that you can just play this when your threat is at like 49 and you can reduce it to 40. That's cool. Okay. I'm sold on it now. I'm sold on it. Cool. Thank you. Valiant Sacrifice. Ready an ally. Or after an ally card leaves play, that card's controller draws 2 cards. It's a core set card. And then we got Foe Hammer. Foe Hammer. After a hero you control attacks and destroys an enemy, exhaust a weapon card attached to that hero to draw 3 cards. I'm really looking forward to this deck. There's a lot of allies in here, which makes sense, right? Makes sense, but a lot of allies, and I am here for it. I'm excited to try this. I'm gonna actually get to try this. I think later today. We're gonna be playing the Oath. Yeah, and then the Caves of Nibendum. So, yeah, good stuff. Good deck. I can see why you enjoy the Gondor build a lot, because it just does feel very satisfying. It's like a high money, high threat, high risk, high presence, and that's what Gondor is, right? Got to build the Gondor army. Let's go. Let's go. Alrighty, so we do get cards in the back of the pack. This is the deck, but we do get these cards as well. So all of these are not in the deck, but they do come with the pack. So, yep, there's Baragon. Alrighty, sweet. So Baragon, I love this card. 10-0-1-4-4. Lower the cost to play weapon and armor attachments on Baragon by 2. And so now if you have a shield, it's free to play on Baragon. You can drop it turn 1, and now you have a defender of 6. And like a lot of the game's problems are kind of solved at that point. I wonder if we're going to get a Spear of the Citadel, which I really like that card. Let's peek ahead a little bit. Nope. No Spear of the Citadel, but Spear of the Citadel is a really good card for him because after you defend, you get to deal a damage. I wonder if that card is in a repackaged content. We got Faramir. Faramir gets +1 attack for each enemy in the staging area. 11 cost, 2's down the board, and a 5 health. He's also ranged, which is nice. And makes ranged is better in a multiplayer game. With the Immin Armin Ranger, 2 cost, 0-1-1-2. After they commit to the quest, choose an enemy with a trap attachment until the end of the phase. Gets +X, where X is the chosen character's threat. That is cool. That's cool. That's really, really cool. Now we have a lot of trap, or we have the Forest Snare from the core set, which just locks down an enemy. But if you can lock down an enemy with like 3 to 4 threat, they're now questing for 4 for 2. That's really awesome. Plus you probably are going to be leaning into it because a lot of the trap cards are built into kind of the ranger archetype, like ranger spikes. We play it into the staging area, and then it attaches to the next eligible enemy. Players do not make engagement checks against the attached enemy. Attached enemy gets -2 threat. Now, this does call out printed threat, and so the -2 threat here is not affected by this. So you can just leave the enemies out there, and then Faramir is getting +1 attack for those. Athelian Pit, here's another trap. We play it into the staging area. Attaches to the next eligible enemy. Any character may choose to attack the enemy as a target of an attack. Oh, that's cool. So now they're sitting up there. It's a little. It is kind of interesting that. Oh, okay. No, ranger spikes, you don't make engagement checks. So I was gonna say it's interesting that this deck is pushing you high threat, but then you also have like this card, which is not in this deck. To be fair, you have this card where they're just gonna engage you. That's cool. Coney in a trap. Play only if you control a unique character with the ranger trait and another unique character with the warrior trait. After you engage an enemy, that enemy cannot attack you until the end of the round. Well, there you go. This is going to allow you to, like, one of the hardest parts about like Forest Snare is you don't have the time, or you have to at least take a hit from the enemy, right? You have to go through the attack phase because you cannot play attachments until the planning phase. And so this allows you to skip that first attack and then you can drop it. In multiplayer, every character can attack the Enthelian Pit target, so it effectively gives the whole table range. Oh, because you can attack it even not when it's not in the staging area. That's cool. We got Helm of Secrecy. This is a 4-cost card, limit 1 per deck. Choose a hero you control and discard all tokens from it. Select a different non-fellowship or I forgot what the other one is. Hero from your collection with a threat cost less than or equal to the chosen hero. Swap those heroes, moving all eligible attachments and damage tokens to the hero from your collection. That's wild. Choose a hero you control and discard all tokens from it. Select a different... So you can just like swap a hero in? That seems wild. What, Jared, how have you broken that card? I'm sure there's ways to break it. I don't see it quite yet. You could swap it. Like if you have an early game of like leadership, you could like build out the leadership, like drop steward, drop all your allies and stuff, and then swap like one of your leadership characters to a tactics character or something like that. And then you have like, or you could go like really heavy into questing earlier, and then if you know you have a big enemy at the end of the quest, swap it into a high attack tactics character. It's interesting. Less than or equal to the chosen hero. Yeah. Huh. It's a really unique card. It really interesting. Path of Need, limit 1 per deck, attached to a location. Heroes do not exhaust to attack, defend, or commit to the quest while the attached location is the active location. Nice. Helm is good with Lore Aragorn since his ability is once per game. Other than that, it's a fun toolbox card to find an... Oh, yeah. Yeah, Loragorn is really cool with that, yeah. You can honestly swap Loragorn with another Aragorn. Because if you have all the attachments on Loragorn already, then you swap him with like the tactics or the leadership one, and then you get all the benefits still. That's cool. That's really okay. I like that. Loragorn. That's fun. That's fun. And then also there's the character that's in Dream Chaser where like their main ability is like basically doing a Marvel Champions mulligan. You could swap them after that. We got another copy here. These are just all the duplicates of everything that we didn't get a full playset of in there. That's a fun pack. I'm glad we got to save this one for last because this one actually had a lot of cards that I have not seen quite yet in the like my progression playthrough. And so it's cool to see like a lot of new cards and kind of see an archetype get defined and refined. And so this is really cool. Starting with Leadership Aragorn to get leadership access to play sword that was broken, and swapping to a different Aragorn is really good. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, that's fun. Awesome. Sweet. Well, thank you so very much for hanging out. This has been a really fun one. I'm going to be back next week with some more Lord of the Rings, probably again on Wednesday. And yeah, I will record a game, and I think that game will actually be out before next Wednesday. But I plan on doing a 2-handed game with Defenders and Rohan against the Oath. So I'm going to probably film that later today. Appreciate y'all. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you on Friday for some Arkham Horror. That does start at 3, so that's a little bit different of a start time. It's not at 10 a.m., it's at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. See you then. Thanks, Scott. Bye.